Hello, all benders and non-benders, and welcome back to Avatar Generations. And today, we are going to be going over the guild feature that has recently been added into Avatar Generations. Now, I'm going to be completely honest here. There's not a massive amount of substance to the guild feature right now. It's pretty simplistic and bare bones at the moment. But we do have the promise of a lot more coming in the near future, and there are still a couple things I wanted to talk about, because even in its current state, there are things you can do to contribute to your guild. Before we get started, if you have not already, please like the video and subscribe as we get into this new content. No doubt, guilds are going to lead to quite a bit more stuff to talk about in the near future, so stick around if you want to get my input on all of that. Now, you will notice next to the events, that's very bugged at the moment, there is a new little icon here, a little pie show tile called Guilds. Now, when you first click on this, it will give you the option to either host a guild or join a guild. If you select join a guild, it will bring up basically a list of guilds. At the time that I did it, there were only like 2. So not an extensive list because it was brand new. But you can basically set a guild to be just open join pretty much, or you can hit a button to basically send in an application of sorts, and then the leadership of the guild can decide whether or not they want you in the guild. So let's assume that you have either started a guild or you've gotten in a guild. What do you do from there? What is there to look at? Because you got this page here. This is basically your guild main page. And we're going to talk about what all occurs in this page. First of all, over here you've got basically your guild information. Now, the most important thing to look at here, you'll notice a little 8 here and a little percentage bar. That is your guild XP. And that's really the thing you want to be contributing to right at this moment, because that actually unlocks things in the shop. We'll get to that in just a second here. But you might be asking, how do you contribute to your guild XP? The single best way to do that is to check in. This is something that you can do every single day and is highly recommended to do every single day. So basically, just make it a part of your daily ritual. Go into your guild page here and do your daily check-in. What you'll get is you will get a few of the pie show tile currency. This is the guild currency. You will get a little bit of contribution to your guild XP, helping them get their guild higher. And then you also get progress towards tomorrow's jackpot. I'm a little unclear on what this one is. I think it basically makes it so that there's a chance that one member of the guild will get extra pie show tokens. Just a fun little thing to, be like, hey, I got lucky this day. Woo, good for me. I think that's what it's for. I would not swear to it. Because I have never gotten it. Yeah, my luck had to run out somewhere, I guess. But basically, you always want to check in every single day to contribute to your guild. Now, you've been doing that. Your guild's XP is going up. What is the point of XP level? Well, I'm glad you asked. We are going to go into the shop. We have a featured item and we have a resources item here. There's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of very interesting rewards. First of all, let's take a look at the resources. The stuff you're going to want to focus on the most are things like summons and character improvement items. You're not going to really want to go for low-level stuff because at the moment, pie show tiles are pretty dang tight. I'm sure we'll get more in the future, but being that we are in the infancy stage here, pie show tiles are few and far between. So, in this shop, you do have energy and skip tickets. I would not even bother looking at that. But then you do have summon tickets and peace chaos tickets, actually. You can get 10 of these each month. I'm also going to assume that most of the expensive, valuable stuff is going to be on a monthly basis. So You can get 10 per month of summon tickets, 50 apiece, making that a total of 500 Pi Show tokens. And then Peace Chaos summon tickets, you can get 10 of those, one apiece, for 80 Pi Show tokens apiece, totaling up to 800. So basically, 500 for all the summon tickets, 800 for all the Peace Chaos summon tickets. Now, odds are, we're halfway through August already. Odds are you're not going to be able to afford any of these. Honestly, it might not even be the worst idea to just skip this month entirely, because you're not going to be able to afford substantial amounts, and there's some other things that might end up being more valuable that we're going to talk about right here, right now. Next, at level 10, we haven't unlocked that one yet. You'll notice we were on level 8. This unlocks at level 10. A Legendary Arts Orb. That's fine and dandy. Good stuff there, but I wouldn't go too crazy on that one just yet, and we're going to find out why real soon. Next, we do have the ever-coveted skill level token. Just a reminder, skill level tokens basically increase the skill level of your character without needing to get a duplicate. Very valuable reward, can really cut down on how much summoning you need to do to actually max out your character. Nice thing is, we actually do have a pretty noteworthy number of sources to get these from. It would help if the main quests would work so we could actually get that one, but it's fine. They usually comp us that one anyway. So more of these is never a bad thing, because keep in mind, just to do a little math here, every month you get two. You can get 2 from the summon shop if you have the seeds. You can get another one from the arena shop. Let's count the usual the quests, because in a perfect world those would work. That's 4, and then let's assume that this is going to be on a monthly basis and you get 1. That's 5 from the guild shop. That's a maxed out character from 1 all the way up to 6. So that's actually kind of huge, not going to lie. You can do a lot with that. Just throwing that out there, that this is a very high dollar item. However, we got one more thing to talk about. One more little high dollar item to talk about. Oh yes, our very first Mythic Arts Orb. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's Mythic Arts? And you would not be blamed for that, because Mythic Arts are red 5-star arts only available from stage 5 boss battles, and they are turbo rare. I have not laid eyes on a single one. Never once in my life have I even seen one, much less gotten to use it. Some lucky souls have gotten them, and it is the ultimate flex if you actually pulled a good mythic art, because keep in mind, that's a massive stat boost, especially if you got something like a speed feather. Oh my gosh, I would forget Peace Chaos characters. A mythic speed feather is the game-breaking item there. Just throwing that one out there. So this is going to be for 500 Pi Show tiles. Is that going to be worth it over some of the other items? Hard to say. Now, once you get to level 25, which you also need for the Mythic Arts Orb, you actually can buy 50 Pi Show tiles for a whopping 500 Nature Stones. I would advise against that unless you are really desperate for this Mythic Arts Orb. There's the opportunity, the value of that one is not good. Keep in mind though, 50 Pi Show tiles grants you 1 ticket. This is 500 Nature Stones worth 5 tickets. I do not see a world where that is useful in any way. So that's kind of where that one is at. Now, that's the resources. We are going to take a look at the featured page, and while I haven't actually unlocked any of these, because again, the guild is very much in its infancy and we're at level 8, they actually did detail what these do in the patch notes. So if you want to take a look at that, you can, or I'll just spell it out to you right here, right now. The White Lotus banners for White Lotus characters. It basically increases the speed of White Lotus characters at the beginning of the fight for 1 turn, And then when that character is used in a combo, it increases the turn meter of whoever has the highest attack by 15% up to 30%. Now this is a White Lotus item. As far as White Lotus characters though, we've got the Iros, we've got Boomy, we've got Paku, we've got Zhang. And I don't think I'm forgetting anything, although I could totally be wrong. These characters, aside from Traveler Iroh and not for the reasons that really apply to this banner, these characters are not the most meta at the moment. Boomy is extremely good, Paku did recently get some buffs, and Zhang has some very niche uses every now and then. But this banner is not, or this White Lotus banner rather, is not going to be terribly helpful right now. I emphasize right now. The reason I say that, there will no doubt be more White Lotus characters in the future. I'm thinking the gang, the group like Boomy, Iroh, Zhang, etc. in their White Lotus outfits from Book 3. I'm also thinking of Legend of Korra in the future, where the White Lotus did have a noteworthy presence, at least in certain parts of the game. So this is kind of something that might age well, but not really the most usable thing right now, so I wouldn't stress over it. Just maybe keep that one in the back of your mind. And hey, if they start giving out Pai Sho tiles like crazy, and you get a surplus, then you can never go wrong with a 5-star relic. Never go wrong. Now, we also have an art set here. Book of the White Lotus, etc., etc., etc. This is the set that grants Endure for 2 turns. That's at 4 set. It's Endure for 1 turn at 2 set. And the 6 set, it's Endure for 2 turns. And then when the character with this set dies, they grant Immortality to the character with the highest attack. That's basically the set. It's Endure and then Immortality on death. If I am correct, Endure is basically granting you 1 death save, where it's a buff you have, it'll save you once, and then you lose the buff. That would make the most sense to me. So that's kind of where we're at here. What should you prioritize in this shop? Right now, I wouldn't get your hopes too crazy high. I wouldn't really worry about it. The reason I say that is Pai Sho tiles, like I said, are few and far between right now. And I mean, like at the moment, it's been a few days. I can afford 1 summon ticket. It's not exactly going to break the bank. That's better than nothing, of course. But I think we're going to get many more sources to get Pai Sho tiles, especially once raid bosses come into play. So basically, what I'm going to recommend on the shop there is just kind of hold. Pump your brakes. Just wait. Maybe just pass on this month and really start thinking about spending your tiles in September. Excuse me. Because there's not a whole lot we can do with just the daily check-in rewards. That's very much meant to be just a slow drip of items you can get every single day, of currency you can get every single day. But I think we're really going to get a much larger influx once the raid bosses are added. Which does bring it to the last part, which is the exciting part, speculation. I wonder who's going to be the first raid boss. I have a few suspicions. First of all, I think Heibai is very much a fan favorite option for raid bosses. He was very much a large presence in the show in his episode, and I think their very first spirit encounter, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be an excellent raid boss. Raid bosses are typically, for those who don't know, I probably shouldn't assume that you know, raid bosses are typically a big thing that the whole guild has to fight. We're talking like, not like you're fighting another character, you're fighting something large and in charge. Heibai would be a fantastic example of that. This massive, destructive, angry spirit that your whole guild would need to fight. Some other options there. Ko the Face Stealer would be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. Legend of Korra is just dripping in raid boss options. You've of course got the Chaos Spirit Vatu. You've got Kavera's mech. It is dripping in raid options, and even Rise of Kyoshi stuff. I think Probably the best one for that would be Father Glowworm, which would be pretty hype because we don't have an official like design for that particular spirit. So that would be a nice way to put in some original stuff. And they have said they're going to be adding Rise of Kyoshi stuff in the very near future. So that has a pretty strong contention as well. And spoiler warning here for Rise of Kyoshi, I suppose, but Kiruk fights a fair number of spirits in his particular era. Certainly an option. I guess they could make a era of Roku raid where he just fights a volcano or something. That'd be a little goofy, but not impossible. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at here. That's my speculation as far as possible raid bosses. Let me know down in the comments below what you are hoping for. This is very exciting. Guilds are some of my favorite parts of these games and can often keep me playing long after I've gotten tired of some other features. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes being a fantastic example of that, where I got real tired of that game, but the guild kept me coming back for a nice hot minute. So, that's what we have for today. Just remember, do your daily check-ins, contribute to your guild, because that helps everybody. So that is all that we have for today. We shall see you next time. Have a good one.